ಕೇಂಕ ಬ್ಯಾವ್ರಿಯುಮಂ ಅವಹಾರ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲವ MMIಗೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಹಿಲ್ಸಾಕುಫವಾ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಿದುರ್ಕೊ ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗ ಬ್ಯಾವ್ರಿವೇನೆ ಅದೇ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಉಂತೆ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋನವ QR ಕೋಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕುರವಾಗೆ ಮಿಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕುರವೇನೆ ಇತರ ಮಾಲೂಮಾತ್ ಹೋದೆವಮ ತಿನೆ ಸುಮೆ ತಿನೆ ಹತರೆ ಸುಮಕ ಗುಳುವ
Making headlines this hour, 3 major financial sector development initiatives officially launches, marking a significant step towards strengthening financial inclusion and modernizing national payment systems. President states that laws and regulations will be amended if doing so serves the people's vision for the country. And President assures that recent government measures to reduce rents and waive fines for social housing tenants were introduced without weakening state finances.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. Now the news in detail. 3 major financial sector development initiatives have been officially launched, marking a significant step towards strengthening financial inclusion and modernizing national payment systems. The initiatives were launched at a ceremony held at Basilo, Nasandura, attended by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz. President Muiz inaugurated the National Financial Inclusion Strategy and the National Finance Roadmap. The strategy is aimed at ensuring access to financial services for all citizens, while the roadmap sets out long-term priorities for the development of the country's financial sector. The ceremony also marked the launch of Payment Models, which was inaugurated by Governor Ahmed Munawar. Payment Models will be responsible for the operation of retail payment systems, including Fawara and the Automated Clearing House ACH, as well as the continued development of these platforms. Banks and payment service providers will continue to deliver services to customers through these systems. Officials said the company will play a key role in developing the national payment infrastructure, introducing innovative financial services and accelerating planned sector-wide development activities. Payment models will also be tasked with increasing financial participation nationwide and establishing and operating a strong and secure national payment system. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz states that laws and regulations will be amended if doing so serves the people's vision for the country. He made the remarks while addressing residents of Hulmale Phase 1 during a community meeting.
In his address, the President said such engagements are held to provide citizens with a platform to share their concerns, views and suggestions directly with the government. He noted that individuals who wish to share information or submit documents are able to do so either during the meeting itself or separately. The President emphasized that all views shared during these community meetings will be carefully considered. He said that where ideas put forward by the public indicate that amendments to laws or regulations are in the best interest of the people, the government will proceed with such changes. He assured residents that he remains committed to responding to public concerns and addressing the requests raised by communities. The President also noted that in previous meetings, residents have raised both personal issues and concerns relating specifically to the Male area. He said efforts to address these matters are currently underway at various stages.
President Dr. Mohamed Muiz announces students will no longer be allowed to use mobile phones inside classrooms from the next academic year. The President made the statement while addressing residents of Hulumale Phase 1 at a community meeting. Speaking on the government's efforts to introduce reforms in line with public opinion, he said a significant number of parents have called for a more effective system to manage students' mobile phone use in schools. The President noted that although students in grade 10 and below are already prohibited from using mobile phones at school, the regulation has not been enforced effectively. As a result, from the next academic year onwards, schools will strictly ensure that students in these grades do not bring mobile phones to school or use them during school hours. He added that students in grade 11 and 12 will continue to be permitted to bring mobile phones to school. However, the devices must be stored in designated lockers during class hours. The President said locker systems for this purpose are currently being procured by the Ministry of Education. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz announces that buildings of up to 10 stories will be permitted on land plots issued in Hulumale. He made the statement while addressing residents of Hulumale Phase 1 during a community meeting.
Speaking to residents, the President explained that the permitted building height for Hulumale Phase 2 is the same as Phase 1 and that construction limits are determined by approved land use plans. He said that as areas become more populated, the government must adjust infrastructure in line with changes to land use plans or government policy. The President reaffirmed that 10-story buildings can be constructed in both Hulumale Phase 1 and Phase 2 as previously pledged by the government. Addressing parking concerns, he said that 10-story buildings developed on these plots must allocate the ground floor for parking purposes. He added that at least one additional floor must be designated for non-residential or income-generating use. The President also noted that while state land issued in Hulumale can be converted to private land upon payment of the land price to the government, previous administrations had not provided financial relief to land recipients. He said the current administration has decided to grant a 10% discount on the land price, which will be deducted from the remaining payable amount.
President Dr. Mohamed Muiz assures that recent government measures to reduce rents and waive fines for social housing tenants were introduced without weakening state finances. The relief applies to residents of the HIA flats and to housing units managed by the Fahidi Corporation. President Muiz said the policies were designed to ease the burden on households struggling to meet rental payments while ensuring that fiscal discipline is maintained. Addressing residents in Hulumale, the President said the rent relief measures were introduced following careful assessment of public needs and economic conditions. He stressed that government actions are based on analysis and would not be pursued if they posed risk to the national economy. President Muiz said the administration remains committed to safeguarding state revenue and avoiding measures that could negatively affect public finances. He added that the rent relief initiatives were structured to prevent undue financial pressure on both the state and the public. The President also confirmed that the measures remain consistent with existing frameworks for repaying domestic and foreign debt. He dismissed claims of political bias in housing allocation, reiterating the government's commitment to equality and justice under the law. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz announces that legal proceedings for all suspects who have been in custody for more than 1 year will be concluded by the end of March next year. He made the remarks while addressing residents of Hulumale Phase 1 during a community meeting.
The President said the Attorney General's office had confirmed the timeline following repeated public appeals to expedite court proceedings involving long-term detainees. He stated that once these cases are concluded, the government will then review the remand status of other individuals who remain in custody. President Muiz said that at present, 347 people are being held in custody pending trial. He stressed that those detained are accused of serious crimes and cannot be released without proper judicial review. He questioned whether any citizen would want individuals accused of grave offences to be released without due legal process. The president detailed that 29 detainees were arrested on murder charges, while 20 are facing terrorism-related charges. He said 117 individuals are accused of child sexual abuse, 70 of assault-related offences, and 116 of drug trafficking. He further noted that detainees are also being held in connection with offences including money laundering, robbery, armed robbery, domestic violence, kidnapping, human trafficking, arson, prostitution, and smuggling. President Muizzu reiterated that based on information received by the AG's office, court proceedings for all detainees held for more than a year will be completed by the end of March next year, after which cases involving the remaining detainees will continue. He said judicial reforms currently underway are expected to ease pressure on the courts and address the issue of prolonged detention, ensuring that justice is delivered both efficiently and responsibly.
President Dr. Mohamed Moise states that the government has intensified enforcement action against illegal operations in the Male area, revealing that 83 massage parlors have been closed since 9 December 2025 and 56 foreign-run businesses have been shut down over the past 3 weeks.
The president made the remarks while addressing residents of Fulmale Phase 2 during a community meeting, describing illegal massage parlors as a major social concern affecting the wider Male region. He noted that inspections and enforcement against such establishments have been given special priority during the government's community consultation meetings. President Muizzu said the closure of 83 massage parlors since the beginning of the month marks a significant rise in enforcement compared to previous years when actions largely involved warnings or limited measures. He added that despite repeated inspections in the past, fewer than half of identified establishments were shut down. The president also stated that recent operations have led to the arrest of foreign nationals linked to these businesses, with deportation procedures currently underway. On the broader issue of illegal expatriate-run businesses, President Muizzu said the public continues to raise concerns about illegal expatriates, describing it as a growing issue. He confirmed that the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade has closed 56 foreign-operated businesses so far as part of efforts to curb unlawful business activities, and added that further measures are underway to improve the situation in line with public expectations. To address the issue nationwide, the government has established a special task force titled the National Task Force on Combating Illegal Expatriate Operations and Businesses, comprising the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade, Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology, and enforcement agencies including the Maldives Police Service and Maldives Immigration. Authorities said the task force is actively investigating suspected illegal businesses across the Maldives and taking action to suspend or shut down operations found to be in violation of the law.
The National Youth Conference commences with 93 participants from a range of sectors to promote a dialogue on the country's future and strengthen youth participation in national decision-making.
The opening ceremony was attended by Minister of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts Ibrahim Wahid, along with senior officials from the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts and members of the Presidential Youth Advisory Board. Organized by the Presidential Youth Advisory Board in collaboration with the Youth Ministry, the conference reflects an initiative aimed at directly engaging young people in shaping national priorities and policy direction. The two-day forum is being held at the Youth Hub in Male. It is designed to identify key challenges facing young people, propose solutions, and contribute to the development of a comprehensive national youth policy. Officials described the conference as a platform for consultation, enabling the collection of advice and perspectives to advance youth interests at the national level. The program includes workshops covering 6 thematic areas, with discussions scheduled to conclude with a closing ceremony attended by President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu. Alongside the conference, officials highlighted parallel initiatives focused on youth development, including skills-building programs and recreational activities. These efforts were underscored by the recent inauguration of Zuwanungewehi, a center providing counseling and welfare services for young people.
Maldives Airports Company Limited (MSCL) is preparing to commence the seaplane counter services from Terminal 1 of Velana International Airport (VIA). The new terminal, which opened on 26th July this year, features 24 dedicated check-in counters for seaplane services. As preparations continue to launch counter services, MACL last week held familiarization sessions for seaplane operators. The counters are expected to be operational soon, though an exact date has not been provided. In a recent update, MACL confirmed that bus routes for transporting passengers who check in at Terminal 1 to the seaplane terminal have now been determined. MACL has also designated parking zones south of Arrival Gate 4 exclusively for seaplane operators and MACL staff buses. Other vehicles are prohibited from entering and parking in the area, and MACL has advised the public to follow the instructions of the airport's estate security officers. The Maldives currently operates the world's largest seaplane network. MACL said the expansion aims to make seaplane services more convenient for passengers. Bank of Maldives BML unveils the details of its microfinancing product, the first Sharia-compliant offering under the Maldives Islamic Social Finance Initiative, MISFI. The product offers up to $6,485 in financing with a rate of 2.5%, the lowest rate in the country. To ensure long-term affordability and business stability, the financing tenure is extendable up to 10 years with a grace period of up to 12 months and features flexible terms, including zero application on processing fees. This financing can be availed for a wide range of needs, including a startup cost and business growth. The bank's Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, Mohammad Sharif, said the bank was proud to lead the country's first initiative in Islamic social finance. He said the bank aims to create a financial ecosystem where opportunity is accessible to all. He further said that it is a direct investment in the potential of the people by providing the essential capital needed to transform small business dreams into sustainable businesses that benefit the entire nation and contribute to a more resilient economy. The product targets unbankable customers, new entrepreneurs, underdeserved communities, bridging the gap between the informal economy and formal banking sector while maintaining Sharia compliance. Applications will open on January 2026 and will be accepted exclusively where SME Digital BML's Sharia compliant subsidiary. The Bank of Japan raises interest rates to levels unseen in 3 decades and signaled its readiness for further hikes, taking another landmark step in ending decades of huge monetary support and near-zero borrowing costs.
The Bank of Japan raised interest rates on Friday, December 19, to levels unseen in 3 decades and signaled its readiness for further hikes, taking another landmark step in ending decades of huge monetary support and near-zero borrowing costs. It also removed language that growth and inflation will stagnate due to the impact of higher U.S. tariffs, underscoring the central bank's conviction that Japan was on course to stably hit its 2% inflation target, backed by wage gains and ready for a continued normalization of monetary policy. In a widely expected move, the BOJ raised short-term interest rates to 0.75% from 0.5% in the first increase since January. The move takes interest rates to levels unseen since 1995, when Japan was reeling from the burst of an asset-inflated bubble that drew the BOJ into a prolonged battle with deflation. But Governor Kazuo Ueda remained vague on the exact timing and pace of future interest rate hikes. The pace of adjusting the degree of monetary easing will depend on future economic, price, and financial conditions, he said in a press conference. At each monetary policy meeting, we will make appropriate judgments while updating our outlook for the economy and prices, associated risks, and the likelihood of the outlook materializing. The yens led the Nikkei stock average rose and the benchmark 10-year government bond yield jumped to a 26-year peak after the policy announcement.
Ukrainian authorities say Russian forces have hit a bridge on the Dniester River near the Ukrainian village of Mayaki, southwest of Pivdeny, at least 5 times since December 16th.
President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russia is trying to sever Ukraine's access to the Black Sea following days of ramped-up airstrikes on ports and energy facilities in the Odessa region and a critical route to the Moldova border. The Dniester River Bridge, which connects parts of the region divided by the river and sea inlets, is the main transport route westward to border crossings with Moldova and is not operational now. Officials said the route accounts for around 40% of fuel supplies to Ukraine. Handout footage from Ukraine's government showed officials inspecting the bridge as workers with front-loading tractors cleared debris from the road. Officials later briefed staff at the city hall of nearby Aziz. Reuters was able to verify the locations by matching the bridge shape and road's layout with satellite imagery of the bridge. The exterior and interior designs of the buildings, including the Aziz City Hall, matched file imagery. Reuters was not able to verify when the video was filmed, but the damage to the bridge was confirmed by government officials and corroborating reports.
Kylian Mbappe equals Cristiano Ronaldo's club record of 59 goals in a calendar year for Real Madrid with a late penalty in his side's 2-0 home win over Sevilla in La Liga, with the French forward celebrating his 27th birthday in style.
Kylian Mbappe equaled Cristiano Ronaldo's club record of 59 goals in a calendar year for Real Madrid with a late penalty in his side's 2-0 home win over Sevilla in La Liga, with the French forward celebrating his 27th birthday in style. Mbappe missed several earlier chances before getting his opportunity from the spot 4 minutes from time, and he made no mistake to net his 59th goal in as many games across all competitions in 2025 to level Ronaldo's 2013 haul. Real are second in the La Liga standings on 42 points, one behind Barcelona, who are away to third place Villarreal on Sunday, while Sevilla are ninth on 20 points. Xabi Alonso's side were looking to end the year on a high note after losing top spot in November with 3 consecutive draws, and they saw out 2025 with 3 successive wins in all competitions. But it was far from a straightforward success.
Veteran Brazilian defender Thiago Silva joins Porto on signing a short-term deal until the end of the season.
Veteran Brazilian defender Thiago Silva joined Porto on signing a short-term deal until the end of the season. The 41-year-old centre-back was available as a free agent after Fluminense agreed to terminate his contract prematurely. Silva returned to his boyhood club in 2024 after almost 2 decades in Europe with AC Milan, Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea. The Champions League winner joins a Porto side sitting 5 points clear at the top of the Portuguese Primeira Liga and is aiming to impress in a bid to make Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil squad for this summer's World Cup. Silva has made 113 appearances for his country but has not featured for the Seleção since their 2022 World Cup quarter-final exit.
Digital transformation is reshaping education, the key sector for developing human resources. In line with Resolution 57, this process is being carried out comprehensively with people at the center and knowledge as the driving force. New digital approaches are modernizing training and building a foundation for sustainable development in the digital era.
Digital transformation is reshaping education, the key sector for developing high-quality human resources in line with Resolution 57. Its process is being carried out comprehensively with people at the center and knowledge as the driving force. New digital approaches are modernizing training and building a foundation for sustainable development in the digital era. This is the Industrial Control Practice Lab at the Hanoi University of Science and Technology. Previously, practice rooms could simulate only a part of production process. Now 4 robotic arms recreate all 4 stages of an industrial machining system. This reflects a breakthrough investment in technology as a university pushes towards a research and innovation-driven model. From the moment I entered the lab, access to advanced equipment has given me a strong opportunity to grow. Investing in key laboratories like this serves as a magnet for more in-depth practical research, helping the university move forward implementing Resolution 57. The Hanoi University of Science and Technology has prepared a plan with clear goals and solutions. We aim to become a center of excellence in key fields, making a significant contribution to the country's development. With its ambitious goals and strategic breakthroughs, Resolution 57 promotes the development of an innovation-driven university model. Universities are expected to become leading hubs in Vietnam's innovation ecosystem, where newly generated knowledge is transformed into technological products and practical solutions, strengthening the core role of universities in shaping regional and local innovation ecosystems is essential. These institutions also serve as the key providers of high-quality human resources and talent for national development. Resolution 57 aims for 12 researchers per 10,000 people in science, technology and innovation by 2030. To reach this target, the country is prioritizing high-quality human resource development, beginning with breakthrough in higher education. This includes piloting new commission mechanisms, offering full scholarships for postgraduate students, and requiring stronger collaboration with businesses.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.
ಗುದ್ರತಿ ರೀತಿಕಮ ತಿಮಾವಶಿ ಹಿಮಾಯತ್ ಕುರುಂ
ದಿವೆಹಿಂಗೆ ರೀತಿ ಆದಕಾದೆಯ ಸಗಾಫೈ
ಈಜಾದಿ ಉಮ್ರಾನಿ ತರಗ್ಗಿ
ನಮೂನಾ ರಶುಫತುರು ವೆರಿಕಂ
ಮಿ ದಾಯಿರಾತಕುನ್ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ತಾರೀಖು ಗಾವೆಸ್ ಮುಳಿಂ ಅಲ ಗೌಮಿ